the Senate and the states. They're getting campaign contributions. Why would they want to support something that is against the people that are paying them? And I understand that. That's why this became an initiative of the people in the first place, because we're trying to beat out big pharmaceutical and take care of ourselves. They've been taking care of us and lining their pockets, getting us sicker and sicker by the day. And I don't want to totally knock them. They do a lot of good. There's a lot of stuff out there that people would die if they didn't have. I just think that they don't want to lose all that pain medication that they're selling. There's big money in pain medication, whether it's over the counter or in the black market.
Well, even the over the counter medications. Now, if you're talking about if that's opiates is a route that you just absolutely refuse to go down. I would like to touch on this real quickly. My ex-mother-in-law refused opiate medication, chronic pain patient, so she took non-steroidal anti-inflammatories such as Aleve, Advil, balanced with Tylenol. She's now in full renal failure. So either way, you go.
Yeah, before I went to medical marijuana, I've met too many people going through opiate addiction, and I know I didn't want that. And so I have bone degeneration in my shoulder, a lower lumbar strain. I was a drywall hanger, so basically I'm in pretty good shape for the shape I'm in. And there's nothing that'll beat you up like construction. So I have chronic pain. I have osteoarthritis. I'm old I was old at 30, and now I'm pushing on to 40. So they had me on 1,500 milligrams of acetaminophen and another 1,500 milligrams of the generic of Aleve, and that was 3 grams of chemical product that I had to put into my body every day. One of them damages your liver, and the other damages your kidneys. And I have a friend who's he's been on dialysis since he was 16 years old, and he's about 22, I think 24, and he's dying. And I'm giving him one of my kidneys, or somebody that can some trade deal through their thing where he'll get one. And so I ain't killing my kidneys. I'm not tearing it up when somebody can have life. Now you beat the opiate addiction with the help of a nurse that gave you kind of the right cocktail to get through it. It doesn't stop it, but it helps you get through it. You tell us about that,
right.
Sheree.
Well, this all landed me in jail eventually.
As it does so many, as it has been.
Yeah, my non-criminal self. I ended up in jail. I'll tell you more
about me and jail later. You'll love this.
So, and I immediately within 24 hours of arriving in jail, the withdrawals started, and I started having seizures. Well, the very first seizure that I had, the nurse she just happened to be standing right there, and she whisked me off to the hospital. And it was interesting because I have been to this hospital so many times, and so many times it was to receive narcotic pain medication, and I had talked a few times with them about coming off of it, and this was never suggested to me. Between this nurse and the doctor there, they put a cocktail together that made the difference. That is absolutely, without a doubt, the reason why I am clean now and off of this stuff. I've been for almost a year. I would have never made it without it. There's just no way.
What was for those of you that are suffering through the same thing and want to get away from this, and you can take this information to your doctor. Please, I beg you, take this information to your doctors. Tell them, I heard this works. Tell me about it. Will this work for me? And so, what was that? So.
It's a combination of 4 medications. All of them work differently in your system. We are back at the pharmaceutical companies, folks, but this is better.
At least it's a way out.
And it's a way out. It's temporary, and when you're done with it, you're done. You just walk away, and you're done. It's great. So one of them is a blood pressure medication, and this, I think, is the most significant. It's called clonidine. That lowers your blood pressure. It takes away that creepy crawly thing that goes on with your legs and takes your blood pressure down, obviously. Then there's they gave Ativan, which is a benzodiazepine, a very low dose, low on the scale of benzodiazepines, it's very low. That stopped the seizures. And then they gave me something called Phenergan, which is an antiemetic. It stops nausea. And then at night they were giving me Benadryl for sleep.
All right. And I hear like nausea, vomiting, diarrhea.
Oh yeah.
Muscle cramps.
You sweat, you're freezing, you're sweating, you smell it. The smell is the worst thing. I can't even begin to tell you.
And this
The
little
pain.
cocktail helps you function normally. There's nothing. You feel nothing. There's no nothing.
I can't say that there is no nothing.
Oh.
There is for me, and you got to understand that everybody's different.
Right. And nobody's gonna.
But for me, and given the severity of the withdrawal that I went through, it took about, I would say, a month of remaining on 2 of those 4 drugs before I was able to come off of them and actually sleep at night and wake up in the morning feeling rested and wake up without the knots and the nausea and, so it did take some time.
All right.
But it beat the heck out of the cycle that I was in, so.
And how long have you been off the pills? Not those necessarily, but off of the opiates now?
For almost a year. It'll be a year in less than a month.
Wow, that's awesome.
It is.
And it's so hard to be. And then there's so many people, you talked with me at least before, about continuing the use
due to the fear of the withdrawal, having gone through it and not wanting to do it again. You'll do just about anything. You wonder why the drugstores have people and have signs on the front that say you can't come in wearing a hoodie or a hat or glasses.
Yeah.
It's because there's people just like Cherie that were given medication and then they told that, oh, you're an addict and you can't have it no more. And where are they going to go? And I'm not saying what they do is right. Certainly it's not. But you leave somebody with no choice and feeling like, if not feeling like they're going to die, by God, feeling like they want to.
Well, and if you don't mind me interrupting you.
Every woman I've ever met has interrupted
Oh,
me.
good.
So
Good, then I'm no different. That's great. Fantastic. There are 2 choices that a lot of doctors will try and give a patient getting out of this. One of them is called Suboxone. The other one is by far more well-known. It's called methadone. Methadone alone has killed more people than opiates in the short time that it's been on.
So what they're giving people to not be addicted is killing them rather than and
The methadone is. The Suboxone is not. But here's the clincher to this one, and that is that if you stop taking this medication, just don't want to take it, you will withdraw exactly like if you were coming off of opiates. So to me, I'm just thinking,
So the
what's the difference?
is you're not getting they're getting the money through a different channel.
Yes,
But the same people get the money for the pills.
So
absolutely.
that's good. At least they're still getting rich. That's awesome. So we want to go ahead and open up the phones, and I want to introduce Jason Barkey. He's back again from the MTCHF. I think I got it right this time, Montana Cannabis and Hemp Foundation. He's going to come out. He was going to do this later, I thought, but we'll talk about it here. He's going to talk about lights with us too, and the importance of lighting and timing on your plants. So the phones are open. Give us a call, and we'll let you talk. And I want to apologize for last week. I'm still new, folks, so I wasn't good on the phone and keeping my callers on the line. I promise I won't be near as rude this week. Jason, welcome back to the show. Thanks for coming in today. Now, you got a few things with you down there.
I just brought a couple of the different light bulbs that we use there, the bigger ones. They're 1,000 watts, which suck a lot of juice and produce a lot of heat, but in the growing, your lighting in your environment is exceptionally important. We use like metal halide to begin with. It's a bluer spectrum light, more like spring, because a lot of the lighting that we do is basically we're mimicking Mother Nature. In the spring, your lighting, your spectrum goes pretty much from blues and purples to a red. And in the spring, you have a more blue spectrum light, which promotes growth and a lot more green, and the early morning or the early growing in the spring, because it's always so green. And as the season progresses, your light spectrum changes as we turn with the earth, and it goes more towards a reddish color, which promotes budding, or the flowering and the harvesting of the plants.
So, your light spectrums are basically in time with the aurora borealis. I haven't been when I was there anyway. In early spring, you'll get green lights in the sky.
Yeah, green
and then
and
you'll get multicolor facets in the dark in the winter. You get a multi-spectrum. In the spring, you'll get green, and in the fall, you'll get fiery red. It looks like the fire's on fire. There's nothing so beautiful.
It is actually really
as the
similar
aurora
to
borealis in the fall, and it looks like the entire sky is on fire.
And also to go with your lighting, your environment, your temperature rating is. These lights produce a lot of heat, in producing the spectrums. So you need an adequate ventilation system. And timing is also important, because in the spring, days are obviously getting longer now, we all notice. As the things start to grow, your plants, when the daylight starts to shorten again, is when they start producing flowers or their fruit or whatever. So in the beginning stages, what we call veg, we run our light systems, and I'll just go with ours. We run 18 and 6. We have the lights on for 18 hours and off for 6. So it gives it a longer spectrum for growth. As we go later towards the bud cycle, we drop our lighting to 12 and 12, and that puts the plants in the idea that the end's coming, winter's here, and they produce their flowers. But we change the bulbs from veg to flower. We go from the blue to the oranges and reds, the yellow, orange, and red, because that's a spectrum of fall.
And veg and flower is the stages of veg is vegetative state, bringing up more leaf, growing the plant out fuller.
Right.
And then flower is
It's just
stopping
where they
the light
produce.
to bring the flower, the bud, out onto the plant, and make it
Right.
grow instead of the plant itself. Switch what's growing, correct?
That's totally correct.
And what's the bulbs you have here for us today? What'd you bring with us to see, Jason?
I brought a 1,000 watt metal halide, and as you can see, it's a fairly large bulb. It fits in a larger reflector. It produces a lot of heat, so your ventilation is real important.
More bigger fans and in and out somewhere to make sure you're getting cool air coming in.
Well, they have some that are just reflectors that don't have any, and you can run your fans behind and go from there. But they also have the reflectors that are enclosed with glass, and they have just its own ventilation system, period. And the air runs right through there, and it tries to help keep, and you pump it out, but it helps keep your environment intact. You can burn your plants real easy with these.
I'll try to bring you the one I have at home, and I'll show you exactly what he's talking about.
In your distance, you want some distance from the light.